Hello and welcome back to Mac at the Movies. Today I am going to do a little something different for my movie review. I'm going to do like a before and after. So this particular movie I plan to watch was released by Revolution Studios and Columbia Pictures. Deemed one of the worst films ever made. It is GIGLI, starring Ben Affleck, Jennifer Lopez. I do believe it said that Christopher Walken plays a role in it as a detective. And Justin Bartha plays Brian, who I believe has special needs in this movie. Or so he does his best to portray somebody with special needs. So we'll see how this goes. This was written and directed by Martin Brest. He did Scent of a Woman, Beverly Hills Cop, and Meet Joe Black. This feature was released in 2003. And frankly, the best thing I caught from the trailer was an Avril Lavigne song. So if that's the best that this film has to offer is 20 seconds of an Avril Lavigne song on a trailer, I am in a rude awakening. So this is supposed to be a comedy crime drama. It appeared to be like a crappy romantic, I'm not sure what, with some comedy. Just from what I saw in the trailer alone, I don't know what trailer I saw the last time that made me want to buy this and just give it a go, but I don't remember seeing it in this trailer. There was a scene where I guess he's Ben Affleck's younger brother in this movie, with special needs. He wants a bedtime story read to him, and Ben Affleck reads off the back of like a Charmin toilet paper package or a Tabasco sauce bottle. So I don't know what I have in store for me, but I'm hoping for the best. So yeah, again, this is GIGLI, released August 1st, 2003. Guys, gals, wish me the best, and hopefully I will be back soon with a good review for you. So see y'all guys in a little bit. Bye. Oh, welcome back. That movie was a real doozy to get through. It, wow. So where to begin? So like I said, this film, GIGLI, starring Ben Affleck as Larry GIGLI, and there's an ongoing, not really an ongoing gag in the film, but he gets called GIGLI a few times, and he has to correct people and say it's GIGLI, like really, but GIGLI. So it's why the gag is in the movie, I don't know. I'm surprised they didn't just give him a more generic name, but it is what it is. Jennifer Lopez, she plays Ricky, who gets introduced into the film about, I would say, 15 minutes in, something like that. And that 15 minutes feels like a long time. Like, this movie feels like it almost never ends, or it's not about to. Christopher Walken, he plays a detective in the film, has a small role. Al Pacino also has a role in this film. I would say it's a little bigger than the Christopher Walken bit, but and in my opinion, the only redeeming quality of this film is the 3 minutes you see with Al Pacino. The rest of the movie is garbage. Christopher Walken, like, you have his scene, but it seems like it's almost as though Christopher Walken's attempting to do a sort of Hannibal Lecter thing. It's kind of weird. Like, that's just the vibe I got off of it. Other people may not see it the same way, but that's what came to mind. But then you have Justin Bartha, who plays Brian. So the premise of this movie ends up being uh, Larry and Ricky are both hired uh, like goons. They both get hired by their boss, who is this like nothing thug gangster. Like I he's the nothingest thug gangster I think I've ever seen in a movie. It's almost like he watched what happens on NCIS and goes, "This is how a thug is supposed to be portrayed," and that's how he acted. It was terrible. Um, but Larry is hired to kidnap. Uh, I think it's Al Pacino's younger brother. I don't know. He's hired to kidnap Brian, who is mentally disabled, and hold him, I guess, for a ransom. Like that, like you don't, to my knowledge, and I really don't want to have to go back and rewatch this, but you don't know why he's being held. Like, you just know that there's something going on between the boss and some federal prosecutor from New York. Have no clue what happened. Something happened, hence why this is being done. You don't find out that, to my knowledge, from what I gathered from this film, you don't know why. Um, and then at one point in time, he directs Affleck to cut off dude's thumb as like to send as a warning. Like everything about it just seems very ill planned in the writing process. Um, the entire time Brian is in the film, he's like after Baywatch, like the TV show. Like he wants to go to Baywatch, and it's like a big to do, and Affleck's character Larry promises him that he's going to take him to Baywatch, and then constantly lets him down. He's on the phone all the time. Like he'll get on the phone, and I don't know if any of you remember when you could call a phone number and get the weather. Well, he does that, but for Australia, because he likes the way the lady sounds, the recorded lady on the phone. So he's like obsessed with that, and he's obsessed with wanting to go to Baywatch. It's very weird. Like it feels like the screenplay was written by a 12-year-old from the 90s that watched a lot of late night Cinemax after parents went to bed. That's the only thing I can think of. Like, it's not a good movie. Anytime there's like this is a crime movie. Like, I get that it's a comedy and a romance, but it's like a crime movie, and there's no real like I feel like in any other, especially a rated R crime film, you're going to get, something bad happening to somebody. But anytime Affleck gets the least bit aggravated at somebody else, Jennifer Lopez comes in with like spouting off some like straight up paragraphs from The Art of War, Sun Tzu's The Art of War, and just gets out of the situation. She's like, you don't always need to let violence do your talking. You can just talk to people. And then she starts discussing about how she's going to pluck somebody's eyeball out. It's ridiculous. Like, why didn't you just go over there, smack the guy in the side of the head, look like a bad bitch, and walk off set? Like, the entire time, I was just sitting there like, when's something going to happen? Like, it's so slow, and when you think something might happen, something might occur, it doesn't. So it's, you don't know what's going to happen. Like, the most action you get is in the scene with Al Pacino, and he shoots somebody in the head. And the scene, like, that scene is gold. That's a good scene. Like, and I don't know if it was planned or not. I assume that it was planned, but the just the look on Jennifer Lopez's face during that scene is definitely worth it, because it looks like it wasn't planned, and she thought that Al Pacino just like shot a guy in the head right there on set. So like, yeah, it's this movie is just I don't know how to explain it. It's Affleck's character, it seems like he was written to comprise the worst characteristics of every role he's ever played. And like the acting seems very like elementary for a seasoned actor. Like it's almost like he's never acted before. Like, and I've never acted a day in my life, but I feel like I could have done a much better job. There's scenes where he's trying, like he's in the bathroom doing one of those like male macho, like, I am the bull, look at my horn. Like, it's ridiculous. It's literally like they plucked it out of a scene from, like I said, a late night Cinemax script and said, I think this would go good here. Like, this was put together by Columbia Pictures. Like, they put money into this. And it was like, even if it were straight to TV, I don't know how. But yeah, so you're left the entire movie wondering like what's going on. Then you find out that Jennifer Lopez is a lesbian, which fine, all well and good. But the entire movie you have Ben Affleck trying to chase the unchaseable. It makes no sense. And then he pulls a Chasing Amy out of his ass, and it's like what's going on here? Now, granted, one of the stupidest yet equally funny scenes in the film, and it was one that I saw in a trailer. That there are a couple trailers out there for this movie, and I saw this, and I'm assuming it was the Red Band trailer, but J-Lo starts discussing how like J-Lo's character starts discussing with Larry Affleck's character about how he needs to get over here and, you know, get into some cunnilingus. And you're just like, wait a minute, what's going on here? And then she gets all sexy, and which is the weirdest line in the film, in my opinion. Says, make like a turkey and get over here and gobble gobble. What? Who saw that? Like, that had to have been somebody up above that was just like, or somebody in there that like checked off the, okay, this can make it in the movie, and somebody was pissed at somebody else. I don't know how a line like that made it into the movie, because it was, like, I've heard some jewels, but that is by far the weirdest thing that is just so simple but so strange in a film. I don't know how this film got made. I don't. Like, I was even thinking beforehand, like, why isn't this in like a yearly rotation of like a midnight screening at like art house theaters? It's just that bad. Like, it's not even redeemably bad. Like, was it Room or The Room? I can't remember which one it is. The one with Tommy Wiseau. Like, you have that. Like, that's a terrible movie, but it is so much fun to see live. It's like, you couldn't do that with this film. Like, this movie is terrible. Like, there's a moment where Ben Affleck has to read to the special needs kid, has to read him a bedtime story. This man does not own a book in his apartment. And so he starts reading him off like the back of a Tabasco sauce bottle. Like, it's weird. It's just bizarre. And Justin Bartha's acting as somebody with special needs is so bad. It's almost like he was like fresh out of like acting school, like just like fresh out of there, and was just like, okay, I made it with this role, this person with special needs. I don't know how I'm going to pull this off. And he watched What's Eating Gilbert Grape and did a terrible impression of Leonardo DiCaprio. Like, when they pick him up, they picked him up from a building that was filled with people with special needs. And I've seen other movies where they hire people with special needs for roles. And so I don't know why they couldn't have done that with this film. Like, it was terrible. Like, the acting was like piss poor, to say the least. Like, it was like, oh. So yeah, the movie ends. They end up trying to run away from Al Pacino's character, and there isn't a chase out. Like, they leave their own free will, and they decide they need to just leave. Like, it's terrible. And so they leave, and they're gonna leave Brian off at this beach, and they notice that they're shooting some movie or TV show there. Brian thinks it's Baywatch. It could be, I don't know. It never really said, but they just leave him to go on the beach like a stray dog. Like you're free now, go. And like, he goes, like, follows all the people, and it's like a beach party is being filmed, and he meets this girl, and it ends up being like this weird beach dance party scene at the end of the movie. And he talks to her, and she's from Australia, so he gets all excited, and it's just very bizarre, very just weird film. I mean, unless you're looking for an evening of a slow, horrible, get to nowhere picture, this is yours. This is your movie. Yeah, not good. I didn't know what to expect in, like, going into the movie. Like, I gathered a few things from the trailers, but I didn't know what it was going to be about. It's the trailers left a lot to be questioned of the content of the film. And then when you watch the film, you get to the end and you go, okay, all this stuff happened and now they're here. But like, this film could have just not happened. Like, it was just one bad mistake after bad mistake, and it was all planned. 1 star. Never watch it again. I'm gonna get rid of the movie. It's definitely not anything anyone needs to keep in their collection. I mean, unless you're just a huge Bennifer nerd. And I don't know if there are many people out there who are. But yeah, this film is not good. Definitely 1 star. Never going to see it again. Terrible, terrible flick. But if you feel so inclined to check it out, by all means do. I'm not going to deter anyone from what could possibly be their new favorite movie. But anywho, this is far more negative than I wanted it to be, but yeah, bad movie. Anyway, guys, gals, thank you for stopping by the channel. If you like the review and you've seen this movie, thought it was accurate, smash that thumbs up, jot down a comment below, tell me what you thought. hit that subscribe button, notification bell, let you know when I have new and upcoming videos. So until next time, be good to one another, and I will see y'all later. Bye.